So when we're thinking about the undergraduate program, it's important to situate what we do in our department in relationship to current debates about the importance of creating global citizens and the role of the university in that process. There are approximately 40 million Spanish speakers in the U.S. and about 750,000 Portuguese speakers in the U.S. So when we are creating undergraduates or teaching undergraduates, we're teaching them to acquire multilingual competencies and cross-cultural competencies that will serve them in understanding what goes on in the U.S., but also what goes on across the world, because Spanish and Portuguese, of course, are some of the most widely spoken languages throughout the entire globe. Our program allows students to become proficient in languages, in Spanish, in Portuguese, and also in Quechua, through a number of different language courses and more advanced grammar and composition courses. Our department provides students with the opportunities to gain linguistic competencies in Portuguese and Spanish and also in Quechua, an indigenous language that is spoken in the Andes. But we also provide students with the opportunities to gain cultural competencies, a greater understanding of culture, society, politics in Spanish-speaking parts of the world and Portuguese-speaking parts of the world. Major has different types of tracks in the Spanish major. Students are allowed the opportunity to take courses in Hispanic linguistics, in Latin American literary and cultural studies, or Iberian studies. And this allows students to get sufficient depth in those specific areas or topics so that when they leave, they have a density of understanding, as well as the linguistic proficiency to begin to function as global citizens. The Portuguese major and minor, for their parts, allows students a broad understanding of the Portuguese-speaking world. So we're talking about Brazil, as well as Portugal, and also particularly Portuguese-speaking Africa. And the program provides students with opportunities to learn about the Portuguese-speaking world from really very early eras, the Middle Ages up to the present day, and in lots of different cultural forms. Right, and in the linguistic variation that exists in the Portuguese-speaking world, say between Portugal and Brazil. Aside from the experiential possibilities of studying abroad or doing the service learning course Spanish in Ohio, we have other service learning opportunities for students. There's a course on translation and interpretation in the Latino community here. We have recently put on the books internship courses that allow students, for example, to intern with a local business that has ties to Central America. Again, allowing students to bridge what they're learning in the classroom to what they might be learning and doing out in the world. These types of activities often allow students a sort of a point of departure to put together research projects, independent research projects, often culminating in a senior thesis. And there are funding opportunities in the university that bolster those types of projects, where students take something that they learned in a class, a final paper, or something that they did abroad, or an experience that they had through an experiential learning, a service learning opportunity here in the Columbus campus, or in the Columbus community, to carry out a project that allows them to go into greater depth, working in close contact with one of our faculty members.